Let's talk Tanya for the 24th day of the first Adar. In yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe explained that Avas Yisrael, our ability to love every single Jewish person, is a result of identifying with our godly soul. Just as Simcha, joy, is a result, an outcome of having Nafshe Ikar V'gufei Tafel, of having that our primary identity is that of the soul and the body identity is secondary. Avas Yisrael, love for every Jew, is also a product of living a life aligned with and attuned with and identified with the soul. How is that? So the truth is, if we look at this mitzvah, we know that the Torah tells us, "V'yahavta l'reacha kamecha," we're supposed to love our fellow as we love ourselves. That sounds very good. It makes for a great bumper sticker. It makes for a good meme on Facebook. But if we're to take a moment to think about it, does that really make sense? Is that really reasonable? On so many different levels. Let's stop and let's analyze each word of the statement. V'yahavta, you should love. What do you mean you should love? Either I love or I don't love. Either I like vanilla ice cream or I don't like vanilla ice cream. You can't tell me to like vanilla ice cream. So number one, how are you telling me to love? And number two, l'reacha, who do I have to love? Every single Jewish person. Every single Jewish person. Even the nudnik. And then, how much do I have to love every single person? Kamecha, as much as I love myself. Now, I don't love anyone like I love myself. Maybe I love my children like I love myself. Maybe I love my wife like I love myself. You're telling me to love every single Jewish person like I love myself? How is this possible? And the answer is that if I'm living a life associated with my body, in other words, if my body is my primary identity, then yes, that is an impossibility. Because if I view myself as a body, and that's my primary identity, then obviously when I look at everyone else, I'm also seeing a body. I see in others how I see myself. But what if I am soul-oriented? And what's important to me is the soul, my soul, the other person's soul. So number one, while bodies are imperfect, so another person, if I'm looking at another person as a body with all the flaws and imperfections, that person might be difficult to love. But the soul is perfect. The soul is infinite. The soul is sourced in God. What's not to love? That's number one. And there's another idea, which is that on a soul level, we truly are all one. So I can love everyone like I love myself because we are one. What does that mean, we are one? In terms of my body and my body identity, meaning my needs and my desires and my wants, my physical, material, or even emotional needs, so I'm out for myself. So in concept, I'm in competition with everyone else in the world. I look at the world and say, I'm number one. Everything's about me. I experience everything with myself being at the center of it. Now, if you look at the world and you think that you're at the center of everything and you experience everything and you think you're the most important person, then me and you are at odds with each other. We can never really, truly be one with each other. So our bodies are separated, not only spatially, our bodies are separated by our self-interest, by the fact that every single one of us has ourselves at the center of everything. But how about the soul? On a soul level, what does my soul want? My soul wants to serve God. It wants me to serve God. It wants you to serve God. It wants the other person to serve God. We're all united and aligned in our mission. We're one. So therefore, if I identify with my soul, you're not a competition to me. We're all on the same team. We're all doing the exact same thing. On the body level, we're a competition. That ice cream on the table, I want it and you want it. Who's getting it? But on the soul level, there can never be a competition. So therefore, prioritizing the soul automatically leads to Avas Yisrael, the ability to love to every other Jewish person who has a soul. Now, it's just important to add over here, this is not all or nothing. It's not, am I a body person? Do I identify with my body? Do I identify with my soul? Every single one of us, we identify somewhat with our body and somewhat with our soul, and it's about where we are in the spectrum. And the more we identify with the body and the less with the soul, the less we're capable of having these deep and meaningful and soulful relationships with everyone else. The more we shift and we move and we become more soul conscious and more identified with the agenda of the soul, the more we're able to bring other people into our lives, into our hearts, and do the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael. Based on this big idea that we have today, we're going to be able to understand, and Alter Rebbe will talk about in tomorrow's Tanya, what seems to be a bizarre statement by one of the great Talmudic sages.